So many exciting things going on though today, guys. So many exciting things. So let's start off with this. The UN, ladies and gentlemen, siding with Antifa. Let's look at this. This is from the UN Geneva Twitter account. UN hashtag human rights experts express profound concern over a recent statement by the U.S. Attorney General describing Antifa and other anti-fascist activists as domestic terrorists. They have a problem with Trump calling these people domestic terrorists. You know, the same ones that are burning down our buildings, burning down cities, hurting people, even some killing people, as we just saw here out in Seattle not too long ago. So a couple of people, one was killed just last night. So saying it undermines the rights to freedom of expression and a peaceful assembly in the country. So UN is under the impression that Antifa, they're not domestic terrorists. We are impeding on their right of freedom of expression and a peaceful assembly. Oh, that's really funny. Because I don't know if you guys have been watching the news the last 3 weeks or just watching my channel in general. Do they all look like peaceful protests to me? You guys already know the answer to this, but are we surprised that the UN is backing Antifa and saying that this is impeding on our rights? And this is why I'm talking about we diverted a civil war, and we're going to get into more detail of this right now. Look at this article from Breitbart. UN shares Antifa flag tells us Antifa has right to freedom of expression, peaceful assembly. And you know what? In that term, they are right. Antifa, as much as we hate them, before they were classified as a domestic terrorist group, if these people got together without hurting people, causing violence, destroying buildings, they absolutely do have a right in this country to protest. They absolutely do. But again, we know what's really behind Antifa and their entire goal, which is completely anti-government, anti-America. So let's look at what the United Nations said here. United Nations, this is in quotes, experts slammed President Trump's call to label Antifa as a terrorist organization, claiming it'll undermine Antifa's right of peaceful assembly. Despite many instances of violence by the far-left anarcho-communist group, on Friday, the United Nations office at Geneva posted the flag of Antifa on their official Twitter account, saying that a group of human rights experts at the globalist organization had expressed profound concern over a recent statement by the U.S. Attorney General describing Antifa and other anti-fascist activists as domestic terrorists. Oh, they didn't like that one. They didn't like being labeled exactly what they are, so they had a problem with this, saying it undermines the rights to freedom of expression and a peaceful assembly in the country. Yeah, ask all the police departments that have been having to deal with them, and even the National Guard, and you tell me right now that they were peacefully assembling and just expressing their rights as Americans, right? One expert cited in the statement from the United Nations was Finola Ni Aluen, the UN special reporter on the promotion and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms while countering terrorism, who also works as the board chair of the Open Society Foundation's Who's That Linked To? Women program, OSF being the plaything of left liberal billionaire activist George Soros. International human rights laws protects the right to freedom of expression, association, and peaceful assembly, said Neo Alon, adding that it was regrettable that the United States has chosen to respond to the protests in a manner that undermines these fundamental rights. Well, I feel so comfortable now that the UN has Antifa's back. And again, this is what I feel like was the ultimate plan, right? We're going to have Antifa rise up in cities. Then they're going to take over sections of cities. They're going to expand. And what is it going to do? The Democratic governors, the mayors are going to allow this